just answering some questions with WAPTech, trying to see if we can get this done quickly. Let's see what we get. I have a video up about Stacy, Lapel, Alexandria, Medina, Isabella, Robinson, David, Nick. It's basically Nicholas Cruz and a bunch of other people. One of the commenters, if you want you can look at the video, I'll give a link to it, but one of the commenters posted this comment. "You're quite queer. Wonder when you'll get 1 thumbs up for this." You're new here on YouTube. So I responded, you know, it'd be beneficial if you actually posted a comment about the subject matter rather than the person presenting it. You could also critique the information and it, blah, you know, whatever. So anyway, here we go. That is normal. 28 views and no thumbs up is abnormal. People watching a video without upvoting or downvoting it is abnormal. Okay, the video you're critiquing by not critiquing it has 28 stinking views on it. You're making sense, but you only notice what you want to notice. Same to you. Do you have anything to say about the video, or is it about the view count versus the up-down vote? People watch the video or they don't. Just because some people are dumb don't mean you got it right. Okay, it's not what I do on the video. If you want to look at the video, I'll put a link below. But the video, like all videos on my channel, is me looking up what assertion is made by somebody about some subject. It's a very vague answer for everything here. And then I put my links below the description as to why I've come to a conclusion about whatever the subject matter is. That's it. Sometimes it's based on expert opinion, like, or somewhat expert opinion, but most of the time it's based on the same universe all of you occupy with me. And we'll see how well that goes. Here we go. We'll try to make this fun and cuddly and engaging for everybody, but let's get on with this one. Skyscrapers, steel skyscrapers, are designed to stand up to fire, and they do. Until they don't. Not one steel skyscraper has ever collapsed straight down due to fire. Now we're really working hard to slam as many criteria into our statement. Yes, an event on September 11th, according to a lot of YouTubers and a lot of people on websites, identical with the 2 world's tallest buildings on the planet burning and caving in after being hit by airplanes, hasn't actually happened exactly the same way. Congratulations, Mr. Obvious. But anyway, let's go on. You're a liar. Architects and engineers for 9/11 truth, something dark side. They've only collapsed straight down due to a controlled demolition, except when the building design explicitly required that it, because it's the tallest building on the planet, because of the mass pointing down, because gravity, it would tend to collapse mostly straight down, and it didn't collapse in a controlled demolition style, nor did it collapse at free fall speed, nor did it fall into its footprint, because part of the building hit Building 7. I'm not a liar. I'm presenting information and you just don't like what it implies. It implies that you've wasted a absolute metric ass ton of time on the net being told stuff that isn't true, and every time you talk to somebody who even looks up a little of this, they tell you that you were told something that isn't true and you take it personally. That's fine. Just literally ignore reality. That's fine. And we'll do the mantra. Steel loses about 90% of its strength at half the temperature required to melt it. That's actually a pretty close estimate somebody else posted somewhere. Most steel buildings have their columns encased in concrete to protect them from fire much better. Spray-on fire resistance, SFRM, used in World Trade Center 7 and the other 2 didn't do as well. It was inadequately protected from fire. Cement encased wood works better, and it's a flammable material in and of itself. Everyone says cement and steel buildings, but they don't say cement encased steel. because a lot of the building wasn't. They tacitly leave that out. Exposed metal with a butt ton of burnable material directly below it, because that's where these beams were. These are trusses. Bar joists are extremely difficult to coat and keep coated, and they flex if they're heated or cooled at all, so that comes off. And if they're heated by a fire made of primarily office material burning, uncontrolled, in the wide open spaces in World Trade Center 7, underneath these joists that were put in to cause that big space, basically makes a big metal grill to burn under. And it also has the effect of heating up the upper floor. See also the Plasco building, which had an impact at almost exactly the same percentage point location as the World Trade Center had. World Trade Center 7, if you're not aware of it, and a lot of you are going to ignore it when I say it, had a big rip down the side and was on fire. It was structurally damaged by impact because another building fell on it instead of a plane, and it caught on fire the same as the Twin Towers. And it collapsed in a way that was pretty close to it. And yeah, it did use wide open spaces and a center column grouping a little bit like it, but not exactly the same. And it was a sticking point for most people, and still is. But it coming down due to fire, why are you claiming it was done with demolition charges? You're going to bring up that quote, aren't you, with Pullet, right? That's not a demolitions term for explosive demolitions. Half lying is not my job. Calling me a liar compared to people who claim to be architects, engineers, and pilots, and using the word truth with quotes around it and trademark, when if you look up their names at one time, the majority of them weren't engineers, architects, scientists of any kind. They were just trying to create a false sense of authority. And I'm going to refer to the previous comment. You're looking at a video with jack and or shit for views, and you're commenting under it because you have to swat down every example of somebody not agreeing with you because you're compulsive. That is a very pathetic existence. Almost as pathetic as mine. But I'm not scared of my shadow. And I'm aware that the group of people that actually perpetrated this attack and took down those buildings and killed all those people, the same kind of people are scared to death to try anything even similar to it, because all it takes is just a couple of people aboard an airplane to freak out and start killing terrorists. Our greatest deterrent is how crazy and unhinged we look. I am the terrorist's worst nightmare, because you don't know if I'm joking about it. I'm not. Oh, and by the way, go fuck yourself. So anyway, let's get on with the next part. And I just grabbed the 20 random links. Is that enough? Anyway, let's go on. We got enough minutes here. Let's go on. I've read the privacy policy of my internet provider. I'm sorry. By law, they're obligated to keep internet traffic data for 12 months. After that, they get to delete it. Also, by law, they're not allowed to sell your data to other companies. And the guy says, I don't think my provider makes a metadata profile on its customers. Yes, it does. In order to serve you better, they have to do that for statistics. They just expunge information. I know they do. Because any company that even brings up the subject or doesn't talk about it doesn't matter. They all do, because it's literally a setting on the server traffic analysis that they're going to do that. I'm sorry. Google, Facebook, WhatsApp, basically every online service just take your data and do what they want and probably store it forever. Yes. I got this from Quora. Many people don't ask how Google or Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp, etc. make billions of dollars, and all of them offer free service. If you're not paying for a service, you are the service. You are the product. They sell your details to customers. To governments of the world, I'm not going to mention their names. Technology helped these governments profile and track billions of people all around the world without the need to send any agent after you or get a writ or a warrant. Marketing companies, that's where they make the money from, and they say, the government just comes in and they don't have to steal your data. They ask them, we want the metadata, and then they compare it to their own spying data and figure out who it lines up with, and they know everything they need to know. If they can create a virtual you and do a decent job of it, might just as well. Pre-crime. Minority Report. Google's sharing of your data with around 100 international marketing agencies responsible on managing the data. So the short answer to your question is that your data will never be deleted. You can just buy it. They don't steal it, they buy it. Why go through official channels when you can use capitalism? Governments, Israel, US, why would China want its own search engine? Also, let's say the FBI is asking the ISPs for data on a suspect, but it's really already deleted. Do they go knocking at Google's door and demand data? No, they buy it and they don't knock. They just put in a work order. Also, the ISP deletes it, but that doesn't mean they can't back it up. They're very careful about that, because if you look through their terms of service, they reserve the right to keep backup copies indefinitely of their server data and traffic data and logs. They don't have to disclose that, but most of them do that, because that way, if you have a lawyer look at it, you can be told overtly, they're not deleting your data after 12 months. And I got a really long comment stack here that I'm going to do as a separate video, because we don't need all these 15-minute long videos, so let's do a review. I'm not queer. I'm weird and wired. And I will get thumbs up or thumbs down at random, but people watch the video. One of my videos I had a long time ago got a ton of upvotes, but very few views. It had more upvotes than views because people just upvoted it because they read the description, and that freaked out YouTube and the title. And they were able to figure out, oh, I can just read the comments. Thanks for the information. I included in the video at the time. You don't have to watch this video. Just pause it and use the information below. You don't have to listen to me talk for 15 minutes. And one video I had that had 50,000 views had 100 upvotes and 5 downvotes. One video that was flagged off of my channel for hate speech had no downvotes, no comments, and 3 views. And it was me doing a shout-out video to somebody who told me later that he didn't flag it. Eventually they decided that it was for violating personal identity data. No. Anyway, and then when I point out to this person, why don't you comment on the content of the video? Or is that too tough? It's normal? 28 views and no thumbs up? Or that's abnormal. No, that's par for the course. Look at the rest of my videos, my whole channel's like that. Unless someone's making sure at YouTube and Google that it doesn't get any thumbs up. I'm already deranked. It's hard to find my videos sometimes. Unless I touch a nerve. Waptec only notices what he wants to notice. Because some people are dumb doesn't mean you're right. And then I get called a liar and another person for pointing out that architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth fail at architecture and engineering and pilot work and don't apologize for this. And your assertion, no other skyscrapers ever caved in. There's been several since then and several before, but people didn't qualify it. Well, it has to be hit with an airplane. Okay, so in an identical situation, something identical won't happen. Yeah, that's normal. Not everything's like that. That's why you look for something similar. Steel reinforced concrete structures versus steel beams uncovered with cement structure fires. You look them up, and it's hard to find them without some asshat commenting. By the way, you might want to look at the video below where it shows the collapse of that building, not a World Trade Center building, and go in and look at the comments where everybody's talking about termites and controlled implosions and gas mains and nuclear weapons and radios and, you know, dustification. They're making fun of the fact that it really does demonstrate that a building can cave in due to fire alone. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with it.